My buddy asked me, when did Brad's sister get in town? What sister? I asked. Jamie stopped stirring her coffee. The spoon clinked against the mug, then silence. She looked at me, eyes narrowing a little like I was playing dumb. You're kidding, right? She said. I wasn't. Brad was my roommate, my best friend since middle school. We'd lived together for 2 years, shared a Netflix account, and split pizza money. I'd never heard him mention a sister. Jamie didn't answer. She just looked down, fiddling with her straw. Around us, the cafe suddenly felt too quiet. 2 girls at the next table glanced over, then quickly looked away when I met their eyes. What's going on? I asked, but Jamie was already standing. I have to go, she said softly. Just call Brad. I called Brad the second I got in my car. No answer. I texted him. Hey man, Jamie said your sister's here? You okay? No reply. I drove home faster than I should have, heart thumping against my ribs. His car was in the driveway. The living room lights were off, but there was another car parked out front. It was a small silver one I didn't recognize. When I opened the door, I smelled something faintly sweet, like perfume. Someone was crying in the kitchen. Brad sat at the table, head in his hands. A woman stood next to him, her back to me. She turned when she heard the door. For a second, I forgot how to breathe. She looked exactly like Brad. Same brown eyes, same crooked nose, but there was something older about her. A sadness, maybe. Hi, she said quietly. You must be Evan. Yeah, I said. And you're? Brad looked up then, his eyes red. Evan, this is my sister, Emily. We sat down, and no one spoke for a long time. Emily's hands trembled around her mug. Brad kept rubbing his forehead like he was trying to erase something. Finally, I asked, why didn't you ever tell me you had a sister? Brad didn't look up. Emily did. Because I wasn't supposed to exist, she said. I blinked. What? Brad groaned softly. It's not like that. It's just complicated. Emily sighed. He means I left. Years ago. I disappeared. Nobody was supposed to talk about me. I couldn't make sense of it. Left? Where? She looked down at her coffee. Everywhere. That night, I couldn't sleep. Brad didn't want to talk, and Emily had gone to bed early. I sat in the living room, staring at the family photo on the shelf, the one of Brad, his parents, and no sister. When I finally drifted off, I woke to shouting. I ran to Brad's room. The door was open. Emily was gone. Brad was on the phone, yelling. She said she was going for a drive. She can't. She shouldn't be alone. He hung up and grabbed his keys. Come on, he said. We have to find her. As we drove through the dark, Brad told me everything. Emily had run away at 17 and ended up getting into drugs and bad crowds, spending years on the street. Their parents told everyone she'd gone abroad. They never found her until last week, when a hospital in the next town called. She'd overdosed, but survived. She just showed up today, Brad said, gripping the steering wheel. I thought she was getting better. I thought. He didn't finish. I checked the GPS on her phone, which Brad had tracked. It showed a ping near the old bridge by the river, the one we used to sneak out to in high school. When we got there, her car was parked by the edge, headlights still on. We ran to the railing. Emily was sitting on the concrete ledge, staring down at the water. Emily! Brad shouted. She turned, tears streaking her face. I just wanted to see it again, she said. The place we used to come to when we were kids. Brad slowly walked toward her. You can come home now, he said softly. Please. She shook her head. There's no home left. He kept walking, inch by inch. Yes, there is. I'm still here. The air was so quiet I could hear the river below, rushing fast and cold. For a moment I thought she'd jump. Then she broke down crying. Brad reached her and wrapped his arms around her. They both sank to the ground, sobbing. The hospital admitted Emily again that night. This time, Brad stayed with her every day. I visited too, bringing books and food she barely touched. She smiled sometimes, though. Small, real smiles that hadn't been there before. Months later, when she moved into a small apartment nearby, Brad framed a new photo. The 3 of us on the porch, sunlight in our eyes. I noticed he'd put away the old picture of his family without her. Brad doesn't talk about the years she was gone, and neither does Emily. They don't need to, because she's here now, and this time no one pretends she isn't.